Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button, get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on a video. Welcome back to the channel where last time we were here, we were building up our oil industry. All of last week we started off and ended the week by building up the oil industry. A full 3 episodes on the oil industry, supporting towns, detailing it, and I think it turned out great. Now we're gonna check out some of your comments and suggestions on what we could add into the oil industry before we head off into today's video. And what are we going to be doing in today's video? Well, we are going to be building a small farming town with some supporting farms out near this, actually, in the background. Yeah, this town's been on the map for a long time, but just haven't really found a slot for it. Now, originally, there were supposed to be 3 episodes a week for this week, but with the new DLC coming out this week, I'm not going to be able to do a major project this week, so we're going to be diving into 2 smaller projects on Monday and Friday, and then on Wednesday's video, when the new content comes out, we'll be diving into that in our city, and we'll talk about how we're going to incorporate those elements in our city on Wednesday's video. So Friday's video is actually going to be pre-recorded, and then the Wednesday video is going to be fresh and ready to go. So new content comes out Tuesday, video on Wednesday. All right, so let's take a look at the oil industry, and here it is from a distance. We got the oil industry over here with the supporting town of Pulaski, and it fits pretty well into the city. It's way out of the way, nothing too crazy, and the town is a pretty realistic size as well along a provincial highway. And, you know, I'm really pleased with how this build turned out. So here's Pulaski. It's got a bit of a commercial center through the main street here. It's got an abandoned factory, which David suggested that this is definitely a location where the local teenagers on Halloween set up some sort of haunted house. And then another suggestion from David was to put a motel out near the highway as well. And it's kind of in between Pulaski and the oil industry. So that works out great. It's right across the street from the gas station. I think that's a pretty good location for it. And then if we head up this way, we have a park zone entrance because we added in a few assets. So we have a lookout tower, which has a wonderful view of the oil industry, of Pulaski, and of the city skyline in the distance. But then there's also, at the end point, there's a gazebo where you can take shelter in case it's raining or something like that. And there we go. So back down to the motel, swing down the highway, and JMWZ suggested we should just create a bit of a mini bus hub right here for all the buses so that the buses don't have to go into the oil industry security zone, because that doesn't really make sense. Can't imagine the security logistics of that. So we have that. We have a taxi depot here as well, which will act as an additional bus stop should we need. And then we have a food truck, because I'm sure a food truck would set up outside an area where there's lots of hungry workers. But we did keep one bus stop on this side because it just makes sense. All right, so let's head on over to the abandoned gas station, and we'll slide all the way down underneath the rail line. We'll get onto the highway here, where we'll come all the way up to the first tile of our build. The tile that we first bought. It was the original tile, or no, sorry, it was the first tile we bought, because I think the first tile was right here, but we're going to be building out over here in the farming area, and we're going to be building up the small farming town of Newbold's Corner. So you'll see that there's also a couple park signs, which if we have time today, we'll start diving into building up more non-DLC industry area farms. So farms that are just detailed. They don't need to necessarily be industry DLC stuff. So this is an orchard. It's just a house with a couple assets, unlike the orchards of the industries DLC. They look pretty similar, but way less traffic. So we'll dive into those later. So here's Newbold's Corner. What is Newbold's Corner going to be? Well, it's a small farming town. Why would this town exist? Well, it's the intersection of some pretty major thoroughways, and you often see small commercial centers built up around these intersections. Towns that are no more than a couple blocks. Like a few commercials, buildings. That's it. And that's what we'll be focusing on today. And then because of the relation to this town and all of the roads, hence why the town exists, we'll be looking at some regional roads up in this area, and then we'll be diving into here. So let's kind of start with this intersection. What is this intersection going to really look like? Well, I definitely think we should upgrade a road. Doesn't mean that all of them need to be upgraded. Now this one here is a road that runs all the way to an intersection, or yeah, an interchange, that's the term. So that's a good candidate, but I think the one that we really need to focus on upgrading is this one here, because this one connects up to already upgraded roads, and it also goes right, apparently through some trees. We'll need to fix that. Right into Pride Corners in Prairie Station. Excuse me. So I think this is a good candidate for a road to be upgraded first. And I think all we really need is this road here. Though I can see us probably using a bit of a larger road, a smaller road, but I think we'll stick with the one that's already being used in the intersection. So we're going to take this one out to the town, and then how we're going to continue along, I'm not too sure yet, but let's look at how this interchange plays out. Yeah, we're good. We got dedicated turning lanes. Oh, not on all sides though, so let's make sure we have that. And there we go. So we got that going well. All right, so then we get back to the town, and then what's going to happen through here? Well, I think we should have a upgraded road, but something where people can park on. That makes sense. I also wouldn't mind something with a bit of flair and detail, you know? It's a small town, but it's not exactly necessarily a highway either. Though I actually, you know, I take that back, because I'm sure that this road would have a number, because it's a pretty major thoroughway in and out of the city. Perhaps even an older road. So I don't think we could do a road with a median in the middle, because that just doesn't seem to fit the style of a highway. But what might fit the style is just the basic original 2-lane road. And why this road? Well, it has parking alongside of it, and I think that is something that this town would kind of need. So what's going to happen with this road now? Well, I think we could probably just get away with climbing up the hill, and then maybe just dead ending it at, say, about here. Why not? And then what we could do is we could just try and smooth out this road, this hill. So you see how it kind of has like a bit of a precipice. So why don't we try and just smooth out just that little bump there. There we go. That is wonderful. And then we'll just slightly smooth this out. Should we upgrade these roads here? Well, you know, I really like these country roads. They remind me just so much of the provincial highways that I've seen. So I might not upgrade all of these, but I think I might upgrade just the intersection itself, particularly because this town is centered around this interchange. So we'll upgrade it like this, and then we'll just give it dedicated turning lanes. I don't mind a light on this road. Doesn't really bother me that much. It's convenient, and it'll give us space to detail a little bit. So let's just open up the intersection to about here. Why do we need to open it up? Well, we don't need to, but I suspect that a lot of tractors and trucks would be using this, so having wider intersections really makes a difference. So we have a couple of options here. Should the town center around the intersection, hence the corner, or should we kind of have the main town off of a different road here? And I think that's probably the better bet, but I still want to incorporate all of the intersection here. So if we're thinking about landowners and the original ownership of the land in this area, farmers would have bought up this land, and it would have already been kind of pre-divided into these kind of grids that we have here. So I think that this town perhaps existed before all of the roads were properly defined, and before maybe even farmers bought this land, or maybe the farmer doesn't own all of this square. So perhaps what we can do is draw a road from maybe even here and bring it right up the middle here. And then that could connect up like this, and that would give us a pretty unique opportunity to get some buildings in on the corner here. So let's do that. Okay, very good. So we have this pretty simple little road here. I put this intersection like this with this road, mainly because I'm a little worried with the traffic through here. So let's just clean up this intersection really quickly, particularly this road here. And yeah, hopefully this acts as a couple things. It could act as a bit of a bypass for traffic coming through the area to not go through this little center here, and it could then slide all the way down through here, which, you know, conveniently what we could do is then just upgrade the road to a country road. And then hopefully this would increase the speed limit, which it does, and then it would also be kind of encourage the cars and trucks without us even really doing anything to use this road to get to our grain mill over here, which is a cargo train asset. This also gives us a pretty cool little spot here for something down the road. So let's focus back on the corner of Newbold's Corner. What main buildings do we need in here? Well, first of all, we need to clear the trees. And I think we could do a couple things here. So the lore for Newbold's Corner is that Farmer Newbold, which I guess in a way it should be possessive. So Newbold was a farmer who owned an orchard, and his orchard was located conveniently at this location. So I think the best spot for that orchard maybe would be in here in what's currently labeled as Beechwood Grounds, mainly because I think we could tie the story of Newbold into the railway as well, and then it also gives a reason why there's a park right here. So while it says Newbold's Corner up there, why don't we say that this is Newbold Orchard? So that's fantastic. We have the lore behind the town established. So I think maybe what we could do is we could get Mr. Newbold's house perhaps on the corner, hence the possessive nature of the town's name. So let's choose an asset for that. We're going to use a seaside resort asset. Okay, so I chose this one. It was actually, we've already used it. It was in the ghost town. So just kind of had to manipulate this with move it and get it to the right height that we need it at. Fantastic. So I think this is a really cool one. Perhaps the Newbold apple is really, really popular in the area, and they have made a lot of money, hence why they have such a nice house. And you know, perhaps it was just one of the older houses in the area, so we'll just call it the Newbold residence. And there we go. So we'll detail this up when we do the farm, because I think there's a lot of really fun assets we could add in there. So what else would be on the main intersection of this town? Well, you know, it's an older town, so what could really go there? Well, I think just some pretty nice, simple commercial assets, or a church. So let's start with the church, and we have a really good one that we've been using throughout the series, and it is in Deathcare. Yes, this one. So it's just a small town church, and I think it works fantastically for the kind of vibes that we're going for. Now, I believe we actually need the church to face a different direction. So let's grab it, and we need the church to be facing this way. And we could place the church right here so that it's actually on the main road. And I think that would be good. So there we have it. And then that gives us a really good kind of centering on the side of the town, which I would prefer that the town didn't grow up on, because I want to use this land for farms. So I think we can get a bit more development onto this side, but I want the main string of the town to pop up over here. So now that we have this in place, let's think about the commercial aspect to it. And when I'm thinking of these towns, I'm thinking of just like some really small corner stores, and I think that's a good kind of building to get. So let's try and pick a few that I think would be really good as the center and key points of this town. So let's just kind of zone this all up, and I'm going to dive into Find It. Whoa, that was fast. I'm going to dive into Find It, and I'll choose some assets that I think would be really nice. Okay, so I chose the ones that I think are going to play well into this area. Let's just remove all of the zoning I don't need. Actually, I'm not sure how that one is supposed to look. I don't think we got all the zoning over there. And then we can remove this. So I hope that they all stay, but I may have chosen ones that don't exactly fit into the themes that I selected for this area, which is European suburbia. And then there's nothing else on it. If we look at the policies of Newbold's Corner, it's recycling, tax relief for low density commercial, small business enthusiasts, high-rise ban, recreational use, which is on the entire city, and schools out. So I chose buildings that I thought had a really fun theme with an older style town. So a gas station right next to this intersection, an old diner, a building that's since kind of been repurposed into maybe the town's grocery store, and it plays really well in that corner. Then a couple buildings that have very clean and simple facades, which play well to like perhaps like an old 1900s small town. And then I don't think I placed this building here, but I think it kind of works. So you know how it has, you know what, I'm thinking like the Old West, and they have the buildings with the giant facades. They all kind of have those. So I think it kind of plays well together. So let's make all of these buildings historical. Fantastic. So with that now done, let's talk about how the water. I forgot water, as one normally does in a Cities by Steven episode. So Newbold's Corner is pretty nice. I definitely think there should be some parking. Let's try to get that parking in now. If you hear like squeaks, my dog is in the room with me, and he just had a big yawn, so I don't know if the mic picked that up. So let's get some parking lots in here. All right, so there we go. Added in some parking through here, and I think cars would just kind of drive in off of the road, and they could probably squeeze in between the buildings here to get into the parking lots. I think that makes sense for this kind of small town atmosphere. And then there's this classic small town parking lot right on the main intersection. It's probably from like a decrepit building that they knocked down, and then in the 50s they were like, what are we gonna do? Parking. That's, that just made sense back in the day, and that legacy remains, I guess. Hoping I could smooth that out, but that's okay. So there we go. Really cute little small town vibes through the middle here, and I think now it's about time we start to kind of cut into the this long street with a secondary street, which is usually where the residential would go. And since this building got built up and I didn't really plan for it, let's make that cut right here. You know what? Should make sure we're actually using the right roads. Let's actually use one with no parking from here. Oh no, we lost one. That was my worry. I don't think it was because of the parking lots. I think it was because Or maybe it was because of the parking lots. So let's choose that building again. We're gonna make it a Denny's because what small town wouldn't be complete without a balanced breakfast? Am I right? Even though we have an old diner right here. So we're gonna go with no parking on the roads that kind of just jut out from the main road, and that's strategic because I think that's realistic to do. So I'm just trying to figure out how this is gonna work. I'm gonna pause the game here because I'm going to remove zoning from this next section. There we go. So I removed the zoning because I don't want to mess up this gas station. But I'm coming to realize that it doesn't really matter because it looks like the zoning was able to remain. So we're good. We're good. All right. So no parking on this road because I don't want cars parking on an area close to the main road. I'd rather than park on the main road. And then right behind here, we're going to continue that actually no parking vibe. And I really hope this doesn't mess things up. So I might actually buff it out a bit farther than I was previously anticipating. Just to about here. Why not right there, actually? There we go. So now none of the commercial zones here are going to get blocked up. So that's fantastic. So let's just do a bit of clearing and smoothing of the terrain here. All right, so there we have it, the kind of the main intersection of Newbold's Corner. What's going to go on the rest of it? Well, residential. You often see in these small towns, right behind the commercial buildings are the residential buildings, and then there's often that one residential. Ooh, can I do this? Hopefully that didn't mess up the zoning there. But you often see residential just off of the main road here, so I might just do that to kind of simulate the fact that this house kind of has like a bit of a buffer. And then we'll do this, and then we could even try to segment things out, make things look a little bit smaller by kind of just taking out a lot every now and then. This is going to be a big house, that's okay with me. And then same thing right here. Okay, so I think this is actually going to work out because I was wondering what this one was going to be. It's a newer building, and then this one as well. I wanted it to be a bit of a newer building, so maybe it's kind of simulating the fact that the town is starting to get some new investment, and that was kind of my idea with the small business enthusiast policy, is that it could simulate the fact that, oh, nice little office building. I'm sure that there would be like some small town law office in there or something like that. But it's kind of simulating the fact that perhaps there's some investments going on in the town now, you know? So let's extend the parking out. Okay, so there we have it. Sorry about that cut there, but someone knocked on my door. So over here we have some pretty good parking already on the back end, so I don't think we need to add any more. But I think we definitely need a fence right along here. I think that's all we really need. Maybe we can bring that fence, yeah, right about there, and then we'll just continue it over onto that side a little bit. And then we have it like the back alley that the cars would drive into to get to the parking. And I think all in all, this turned out pretty nice. So let's just add in some trees through here. Whoa, not there. Yeah, there we go. So that kind of adds a bit of privacy. And yeah, I think all in all, this is a great start to this little town. So let's just do a bit more of an extension outwards, and then we'll look at the regional roads through here. So I think maybe we can get like one more little segment of houses through here. I think that would be nice. But how we're going to connect it up into here, yeah, I'm not too sure about. I don't know how or what I'm going to do with this area yet, whether or not it's going to be a farm, because it kind of looks like it could be a farm. So I don't want to go too much farther than that. So let's just buff out one more block, and we'll kind of go to about here. And we'll use our guidelines. Just connect up like that. And then we'll do the same thing out to about here. And again, I'd want to use the no parking roads on these ones. That makes sense. And then let's get some services on this side of it. I think that would be a good idea. So what services do we need in this town? Well, you know, like every town in City Skylines, you got to put the fire station and the police station. But let's check our coverage first on fire. Yeah, fire's a little tough over here. We're pretty far away from the other fire stations, but we do have a ton of fire stations. So I think we could just get away with having one. And I could definitely see this fire station being, I guess over here would be fine. I was thinking maybe it could be like off of the main highway here, and I think that also makes sense. So let's place it right here. Do we need healthcare? 100% we need healthcare. Luckily, death care is already kind of taken care of with the church. So let's get healthcare in here. And should we go with just the basic clinic? I think that would make sense. And we can place this on this main road here. Just like that. It kind of adds to the buildings in the area. And then also, we have a great opportunity to get in another building that goes good on main streets, and that is the sauna. Sauna goes great on main streets because it just looks like any other building that you'd see in a small town. And I think it just, you know, looks cool. So let's add the rest of that being commercial. Yeah, we'll see what pops up. If stuff doesn't pop up, then that's okay. Yeah, okay. And then maybe we get one house here. I think that could work. Okay, so now that we got kind of the main street done, I definitely think we need a school. Now, a school's out is on this area, on the town here. But I do think maybe like an elementary school would be good. So let's try and maybe think of bumping out one more street. And let's go in this direction. All right, so now let's just get an elementary school in here. And maybe we'll say that it's a newer school. Perhaps the kids used to go into Brownsville, but you know, the town's starting to grow up a little bit more. Brownsville, by the way, is just over here. So let's get a more modern school. And we'll say it's, we can put it over here, why not? And this actually plays out great because we have parking on this side, so we could just grab 2 of these parking lots, move it. All right, so just a simple little elementary school right here with extra parking. And then let's just run a bit of a fence around here. And, you know, I was thinking about maybe just keeping it really simple, but I think we're going to add in a park asset to this area because we need to really boost the land value around here, right? Because we're in an area of the town that doesn't exactly have the most land value. So just by adding in parks, it really helps boost the land value. And luckily, this is still technically touching this road, so we're good. And then we can just add to the look of the area by just adding in a bit of surface painter, just like that. All right, there we go. Pretty cute little elementary school right there. And I like how the fence kind of cuts through this corner asset, the corner of the asset here. So it doesn't really make it seem like it's 2 different assets. And all in all, looking at the whole thing, it looks like one larger system. So let's remove these trees and then we'll add in the zoning. Fantastic. So what else do we need to do into this town? Well, we need to just expand the town, expand the residential along the borders here, and then we need to figure out a way to make it seem like these roads aren't just kind of spawned up. And that'll be the next big move before we dive into the Newbold Orchard and then call it an episode. So let's get some residential buildings along here. We're going to mirror what we have going on over on this side. So we just need a larger one there. Nothing right there. And then we'll just do something similar. So we have 2 spaces before the intersection. So we'll just do something like that. And, okay. So very good. How are we going to tie everything in? Well, I think maybe what we can do is look at getting some country roads. So for example, this road here wouldn't just end right here. We would definitely see this road continue on. So let's just look at the topography really quickly when doing this. Yeah, we're totally good to just grab this road, just continue it along, right? Same with this one. We have a bit of a hill here, but again, I think we could literally just push this right through. Now we have a dog park right here. Again, it's for a land value reason. We need to just make sure that there's parks every now and then to increase the land value. Okay, so there we go. Already, it's looking pretty good. So here's another selection here over by Beaumont. Now, I'm not exactly sure where this road is going to go yet because I'm not ready to build Beaumont at the moment. This is Newbold's Corner. So we'll connect this up just like this right now. I can definitely see us going under this railway for now or in the future. But what if this was another road? What if this one were to continue out to here? And then what if this one were to actually have been cut off by the railway? When the railway came in, I think that would make sense to do. And then maybe they built a kind of secondary bypass road because of that. And they started it probably on land owned by the railway company. And they did that. So there we go. We have a nice forested area over there. That's actually pretty nice. But already it doesn't seem so out of place. And then we can grab our country road and then continue to do the exact same thing over on this side. And again, it doesn't exactly look out of place anymore. It doesn't look like it's just kind of plopped out in the middle of nowhere. It looks like it actually has a purpose. So the next big kind of road through this area is going to be kind of like a bit of an old road that's going to go into Corning. But it's going to connect to all these roads that we just made. And this is going to be important for a few reasons. But it's going to give us kind of like an ending spot for Newbold's Corner. I actually think I want to connect it up to this road, kind of. So let's just do a bit of building here. It's going to be kind of like going in this direction. Let's follow the topography line. So let's choose a good location to kind of start out. So first of all, I probably should have just grabbed the country road first and then gone into here. All right, so it looks like we actually ended Newbold's Corners Road at a good location, but not the best, right? So right about here on this topography line, I think is a good location to kind of do this. We're going to follow this terrain line. And then right about here, I think what I want to do is think about perhaps going down. So we have a nice little spot here where we could bring a road right up into Beaufort Hills here. So I think maybe what we do is we curve this one down the hill like this. That's pretty steep though, but I think it could be done. Yeah, let's go up to about here. Is that too steep? I think it's fine. I think we can live with it for, especially right now. And then we're just going to bring it out to here for now. In the future, this one is going to continue out over in this direction. But I really wanted to make sure we had a road right here so that can connect. So let's connect up these few roads that we already built. All right, so very cool. I love how these roads are connecting through here, and it creates these great segments throughout this area. What the heck's going on here with this node? I actually think we should upgrade this one anyways, so let's just fix it with some of this. There we go, and looks like there is a bit of an issue, so let's just fix this whole thing. All right, so we got this intersection here now, this is kind of the main turnoff into Newbold's Crossing. So let's just clean up a few things. All right, so now let's get this next part of this road in here. So this road, we're going to try and connect up into this right here. So let's try by doing this with freeformed roads and the topography tool. So we'll swing this one out to here pretty simply, and then we'll curve this one out to about here, and then let's switch to like a nice curve. I'll bring this one on a nice angle out to this one and connect up like that. So that's a really nice simple curve here. But actually, let's redo part of this. Okay, very good. So the reason why I did this is because this is my, very basic, perhaps might not even be the real grid system going into Corning. So I don't know how the roads are going to play out yet, but I want to make sure that we have this at a nice flat level here. And I think this road altogether looks really nice. So this road is going to have a name. It's going to be called Cheeseman Road, which was a suggestion from the comments. And it's to do with the fact that the Barnes house, at one point, it's called the Barnes Orchard, but why don't we call it we'll call it the old Barnes house. And the idea here is that they used to be a dairy, and they sold their land to the solar farm company because they stopped making money. But back in the day, in the early days of Brownsville and stuff like this, there was a route that their dairy used to take to try and get grain, or to produce or to push their cheese to market, and this was the kind of the road that they always took. And I think that's fun little lore here. But all in all, we have one more road to connect up, which is this one to the highway. And you know what? I should make sure that this name actually goes all the way. It does, nice. And then it actually becomes Barnes Street. So that's kind of fun. So here we are back in Newbold's Corner. And how are we going to continue this along here? Well, we have some nice, simple lots available. Now, I believe we said that this could easily be farms, and I agree. So let's just kind of continue this with some residential, just right there, right here as well. Nothing along the main road here, and then perhaps in the future we could get some type of expansion out this way, but I think that is good for now. But over on this side, I think we could get maybe a bit on this side, and it could be residential. I think that would probably make the most sense, especially since we have so much residential demand right now. And then on this side, I think maybe we can leave it. Maybe this could be a farm in the future. And then along this road here, I could definitely see us getting some residential lots. Not necessarily all the way, though. Yeah, I don't know. I think we might leave this one kind of fallow for now. And then same with this lot here. But I want to make sure that this one actually gets built up today. So we're going to do a quick little farmhouse. So we have some residential along here. I actually think it would probably be good to kind of plan out maybe the farmer sold some land and got a bit of some houses along here. But you know what? I think we're probably good. So let's just get the farmhouse in, and we'll put the farmhouse over here. So I like using this road as a bit of a driveway. And then we'll get a house right here. So let's just choose that house. There we go. Nice, cute little house here. And then this is going to be a pretty simple little farm along here. So how do you make a non-industries DLC farm? Well, to be honest, I just like using the farm fence. And what we'll do is we'll just fence off the whole property here. And we'll say the property line's actually right to here. And their property actually only goes to here. And we'll kind of continue it right down along to about there, and then over like that. So they have their property fenced off. This will allow us to get some houses along here, which would be pretty neat. Oh, That was my dog. So let's get a nice tree right here. It's always fun trying to record with him because I never know if he's going to be a good boy during the recordings. So there we go. So we got this. What kind of farm is this going to be? Well, I think maybe we can make it a bit of like a ranch style. So let's grab a dirt road actually. And then right off of here, let's bring this one out to about there. And then we've used in the past a few items like this. Oops. Like a little building like that. That's all you really need, and it kind of shows the story. And then also like a little barn. I think that's all you really need. And then we also have on this, in this case, we have like a bit of more of a dairy project on this one. So we just grab the Industries DLC's assets and then just turn them off. So I think maybe we can do something similar over here. So I think we're going to need to steal an industry area. So this is called the Madison Farms. If you'd like to name this farm after yourself or a name suggestion, let me know. That's a cute little house, and you have a cool property. So now that we have that in here, what we can do is we can get a barn and immediately put it to empty and off. And then let's get one more building as well. Just simple, the farm maintenance building. I really like this building. I think it makes a lot of sense to have. And we can put it right here. Looks like there's already fencing on it, so I think it would actually play better on this side. All right, and it actually has some forest in it as well, which is pretty neat. I think maybe we can continue to kind of add that in here a little bit. Some little pockets of forest. All right, so this gives us now a good opportunity to get houses all along here. So I'm just gonna go 3 by 3, just to about there. And yeah, I think this will be good for now. All right, so this side as well, let's do something similar, but let's get the farmhouse off of this road here. All right, so here's another one. We got wood farms. So let me know if you'd like to name this one after yourself, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. Although this one, I'm not too sure how much I want to, establish, because maybe we can leave this one blank for you all. A little blank canvas for a non-Industries DLC farm for the comment suggestions. Oh, we need to get water out this way, so let's bring it out to about there. And yeah, I think I'll just fence it off, and then we'll leave it at that. All right, so there we have it. Very fun. All right, so now this town doesn't seem like it just abruptly ends or abruptly exists. It seems like there's like a genuine growth to the town, a genuine nature, and all you need to do is just simple little farms. So now we're gonna skip Dean City Park because we didn't actually end up having enough time to do that today. Or Dean Farms is, it's not exactly a city park. I'm just using park things here because it's easy to use to mark names. So here we have it. The title of the episode, the Newbold Farms. This is their farmhouse, their orchard house, whatever you call it. To be honest, I don't know. I assume farmhouse as well. So let's get, should it be dirt, should it be pavement, should it be tiles? Let's see how the tiles look. That looks pretty nice. Right along the main street here. Now we need a place for them to park their cars. So we'll say that their driveway will be right off of this intersection. And so we'll use the main, we'll use the same kind of streets we were using before. It's just this one, come off of here, and then we'll bring it in like this. And we'll say that's their driveway. Seems a bit elevated to me, so let's just lower that. And then, yeah, I think that's gonna be fine. And let's add in a couple trees, perhaps. Actually, let's save detailing until the end. Okay, so now let's get a nice simple farm fence. And we'll have this fence run to here. And then to here for now. Then we'll have this farm fence go to here. And then all the way to here for now. Okay, whoa, what the heck happened here with the textures? That's so strange. Now, I know it was related to when I placed these down, but I didn't know it just literally just made a giant block. Okay, well, we might need to think about changing that up. Let's see if I just take them out. Okay, that was strange. Well, the texture removal thing worked to remove it. Don't really mind it over there, to be honest with you all. So let's take out these trees because we're putting in a different type of tree. This is an orchard, after all. And so I guess the Newbold farm, when they had to sell their land, or their land was preempted with a right-of-way from the province or the federal government to put this railway in here, they were also kind of realized, well, we're not going to really have this land. This land is alienated. So they turned it over to the city, and the city or the municipality or the province built a park. So we'll build that park up another time, but we'll just focus on the orchard for now. And what the heck is with this texture? Oh my gosh, I'm not putting it in, I'm trying to take it out. All right, so the Newbold farm is on a hill. That's really nice. That's their driveway. This is going to be the entrance into the orchard. So we're going to have it here. And let's bring it down to about here. And then let's add a parking lot. All right, so we got this parking lot. That's great. And that'll be for people coming in here to pick apples and whatnot. And I can't believe this texture stuff. This is wild. All right, so cars will come in here when they're picking their apples. So we need to have like a bit of like a main base for the family that they come to. You know, people are picking their apples at this orchard. You know, where you buy your bag and whatnot. So we'll have that right here. So we need like a pathway for the family to use, and we'll kind of just say it's right over here. Okay, very good. So you park your car, you come over here, and then what are you met with? Well, you are met with a little tent, and this tent is where you pick up your apples, or your bags for your apples, and then you go on your merry way. So let's now line this whole area with apples. I guess we need some supporting infrastructure as well, so maybe we do that first. Supporting infrastructure as in, oh my gosh. Okay, supporting infrastructure as in like extra farm equipment. So what we'll do is we'll just grab this dirt road and we'll bring this one on an angle, why not? To about here. Oh my gosh. And then we'll place this guy down again, but looks like we need to actually get that industry zone in here. So let's just steal the industry zone from the Jefferson farm. Cut that off. And then let's just place down those few things. So this is an orchard, we don't need a barn. So we'll just place down this building here because this will house like the trucks and whatnot. All right, so I just fenced it off, and then we're gonna get a nice big sign over here. So that'll be the nature reserve area. And this sign is going to just say, this is the Newbold Orchard. Welcome one and all. And yeah, so this is probably like a historic house or something like that. So maybe people come and visit and learn about everything. So what do we need to do for the Newbold Orchard? Well, it's just place down the trees. So we're gonna go into find it and just type in apple. We got apple trees, and then we're gonna go into the prop line tool. Oops. Ta-da. And just line, fence, and then we just need to find out the distance. That's actually a pretty good distance already. So where do we want our first line to be kind of formulated? And we'll put that right about here. We'll give ourselves a bit of buffer room from this entrance, and then we'll just try and keep it straight. And I'm just going to fill up this whole thing. And then we're going to hop into a detailing time lapse. So I'll talk to you in a bit. All right, so there we go. I ended up building the park, and we'll start with the park. So what is going on with the park? Well, it's Railside Park. The story of it is that the province or the federal government had to preempt or purchase land from Mr. Newbold's family to build the railway, and they also afterwards this part of the land was alienated. They couldn't really use it for farming anymore, so they let the city use it as a park. And now it is a park where you can go and visit, learn about the rail history of the area, and you can even hop up into here and watch the trains go into Brownsville. I think that'd be a really cool place to take your kids or something like that. So be nice. And then here is the orchard with just some detail around this historic house, and then the parking lot with you know, a little candy area, a cider area, and a place to purchase the bags for the apples. And you know, just simple little parks like this really help fill out an area. And there we go. So looks pretty cool to me. It looks like the Madison farms aren't doing too well. So then that's okay, it happens. But let me know what you think about this build, folks. I really enjoyed building it. And let me know if you like these small town builds, these one-off episode builds. And yeah, oh my gosh, I can't believe what the heck is happening with all this nonsense. Very frustrating. Anyways, so let's end it here. We'll talk next time. Peace out.